And in terms of zooming out from just Diginex into the crypto community industry, what areas are you kind of paying attention to? Are there things that maybe are not getting as much, airtime that you think should be, or are there things that maybe are overhyped that you say, hey, you know what, we're actually not as excited as maybe other people are? Like, how do you just think through other things that are going on?
Yeah, I think obviously DeFi is the big sort of phase at the moment that everyone's getting very excited about, and I do believe that the DeFi is the future potentially down the road of the way things start to evolve. But it's very early. It's like trying to fly to the moon in a cardboard box. I mean, you're going to get yourself into trouble along the way, and things are going to break and burn up, as we've already started to see. So look, I definitely have concerns about what that does for us on a reputational basis for the industry as a whole. And I definitely look back to 2017 and this DeFi thing is probably not what we need right now. We've got MicroStrategy coming in, we've got Paul Tudor Jones coming in, we've got some really serious hitters starting to pay attention to this industry, and I just hope that DeFi doesn't become another ICO craze that people go, you know what, everyone's crazy in crypto, I'll stay away from it for another few years.
I'm assuming that you are also thinking that we are kind of in the early days of another bull market. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but also how does that play into you guys being listed, some of these other kind of non-Bitcoin type areas that people are focused on? Is this a kind of all boats rise together? Do you think that there is that everyone waiting for the decoupling? Is there a flippening? I feel like there's all these kind of theories as to what plays out. Where in your mind do some of these things end up?
Well, I'm a big Bitcoin bull. I mean, the reason I got into this industry in the first place was because I was looking at an inflation hedge. And so I'm a big believer in Bitcoin. I think we're going to see a massive rally, and it's coming very soon. I often say to people that right now it's a coiled spring, and it's just coiling tighter and tighter and tighter, and it is just going to explode to the upside very, very soon. That said, to your question about a high tide rising all boats, I think definitely. The debate, I was at a debate with a lot of people in the industry in Hong Kong a few months ago, and there was one person there saying, look, there's no way that we're going to see people make the same mistakes that we saw in the ICO craze, and it's just going to be Bitcoin and everything else is just going to stay down. I was like, that's just not factual. I mean, there's so many new people coming into this industry, so many people that don't understand what Bitcoin is, that look at it and go, okay, what's the next one? And we saw it in 2017, and I'm getting that question all the time. Like, Bitcoin's too expensive, I don't want to buy it. I want to buy the one that's going to do 1,000x. And it's just the nature of the whole game theory, the way Satoshi planned it, is that greed is what effectively will help with the adoption, because when you get that cut in supply to the degree we do every 4 years, then that's just going to squeeze the price very, very hard. And so then you get that sort of game theory element and greed sort of number go up theory around propagating the success of Bitcoin. But what happens around the edge is everyone's like, well, there's got to be another one that's going to be better than Bitcoin because Bitcoin's the old one. I'm sure you've heard this 100 times, right? And I get it. I'm like, no. You've got to buy some Bitcoin. Sure, have a little portfolio to muck around with, but your main investment is Bitcoin.
I joke all the time, and I tell people sometimes the simplest trade or the best trade is the simplest trade. But on top of that, humans want to gamble, right? Like that is ultimately what it is. And, for everyone who is, intellectually honest, they say the stock market is just a legal casino, and that's okay, right? I mean, knock yourselves out. But there is this element of, if you want to kind of go play in, the crypto casino, to your point, have the major exposure to Bitcoin, and then sure, take 5 or 10% of what you want to put into crypto and, go bet it on black. You'll win half the time and half the time you won't.
Exactly.
And frankly, I think people are just paying for entertainment to some degree rather than actually trying to generate a financial return. And that's okay, right? There's no problem with that. But it's pretty funny when you start to think of it that way.
Yeah, but when we next see Bitcoin go up 1,000%, people are going to go, okay, what? I've missed it. Where's the next one? And you will have this effect. And because these are all smaller market caps, they will probably outperform to the upside, but the tiers afterwards are going to be significantly more to the downside. And so when you go through that cycle, as we've already seen many times, then those pointless projects will be exposed fully.